I just saw Sean Wang's new film, Didi, the indie coming-of-age film, and I knew I recognized his name. He's the same filmmaker that did, I believe you pronounce it Nene Popo, which was the short film, documentary short, which I think won the Oscar, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, that was last year. I don't think it did win. It didn't win the Oscar for a documentary short, but it was nominated. About his grandmother and then this other older grandmother type that they lived together, and it was really cool and interesting because I recognize the woman who played his grandmother in this film because it's obviously very autobiographical. Anyway, the gist of the film is it was really uplifting, very sweet. Any person who was born in the late 80s, grew up in the 90s, early 2000s, will find it very nostalgic. There's AIM, there's MySpace, there's, Facebook, like the beginning of it. And it was just very charming in that way. And it just shows, what you deal with as a young adult and trying to be yourself. And so often we lie and pretend that we're someone else, and the trouble that would get him into. And the only thing that's incomplete, so that's the gist. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was, nice and relatable and cool and everything like that. Very beautiful. Now, if you don't want to hear spoilers, turn it off now. The only thing that's really incomplete for me about the film is, he says all this horrible stuff to his mom, right? Talks about her, that she doesn't do anything, she doesn't make any money, she's just a failed artist, blah, 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 blah. And then never, ever does he take responsibility for it, and never, ever does he say he's sorry. That, to me, kind of left a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. I was just like, you little shit. I understand he's a kid. I understand that he's a teenager. And, his mom, apologized and, took responsibility for her part in the matter, and he never did. And I thought that would have been really cool to have seen, he attempted to do that with Maddie. I thought it would have been cool if he had done that with, the skateboarding guys, even if they still didn't want to hang out with him. If he'd been like, hey, I was a filmer, but, I really just wanted to hang out with you guys. I wanted him to have to deal with, maybe I should just be honest and maybe I should just be authentic. And the transformation that was missing for me was him getting how much his mom loved him and the sacrifice that she made and being grateful for it. There's that beautiful moment at the end where she's staring at him while he's eating. And I think he was in the presence of wow, my mom really loves me. But what was incomplete for me is that he didn't allow that to be reciprocated towards her. And you can call me cheesy, you can say whatever you want, but it's moms just get shit on so much, and I think so often I get really triggered when people say boys will be boys, because so often it just feels like the boys will be boys expression is we just let boys act like total fucking shitheads and never discipline them. And girls are conditioned from a really young age to be so overly considerate. And then they grow up to be these little shits, I can't tell you, how many men that I've met, grown men, some of them that occur to me, the best of the best. They're these little shits, little bitches, that don't have the basic skills of saying they're sorry and don't have the basic skills of communicating their feelings. And I just think as a society, we're just not doing very well. So anyway, that was the only thing that was incomplete for me about it, that had me be screw you, you little shit. But anyway, very lovely film if you can get over that. Because part of the transformation is that he fully loves and accepts himself and who he is. And part of that is his mom. That is who she is. That is where he comes from.